Alright, I am going to attempt to do this Dean Cornwell. We'll see if I can do it. At the very least, it will be an attempt. Let's see what I can do here. Alright, I'm going to grab a decent size flat brush, and that's going to allow me to make some nice big bold marks. Now this is a great exercise, of course, in many things, but one of them would be just, if you're trying to get bold, start now. If you're trying to learn how to work more direct, start now. Everything about this is really trying to push yourself. And this is an exercise that you could do daily. It just allows you, just maybe a little bit too much, but it allows you to really push yourself out of your comfort zone. And if it's bad, then you can toss it. And if it's good, then you learn something. But either way, there's an old proverb that says, today's mistake is tomorrow's learning experience. All right. Yesterday's mistake is today's lesson. It's a great way to kind of think of this. All right. Don't add too much mineral spirits, because when you do and you see that the kind of lines, like if I did this and you saw it in there, I add something like that and you see it separates, that's too much. Really what the oil is the glue. So you want to be very careful. Alright, let's add just a touch more. This is toning as you go. Again, if it feels, I don't know, if you want to get bold, one of the things reason why I would look at Cornwell, Schaefer, Tepper, all those guys, is that I really wanted to get bold. So I'm going to now lay out some colors. That's mineral blue, referred to as Prussian blue. Let's take a little bit of, maybe I'll put some raw umber. I'm going to put black out, but maybe, let's see what raw umber does. I'm going to put it right up over there next to it. And let's put a little bit of white out. Alright, titanium white. Put that right there. But then I may grab a little bit of, maybe a little bit of flake white or lead white. One of the things that Cornwell, I think, did was he used to take and use zinc white. And the reason for that was, I think it's similar to permalba. I think the reason for that was you could take and add oil to it and really add a body to it. There we go. So there's kind of a purple hue to it. I'm going to add this. Now the beautiful thing about, that's maybe too purple or too green. Add a little bit more paint. And again, if this is something that you need to, I don't know, if you're trying to, it's good to know what it is you're trying to achieve when you're painting. And if one of them is to be more bold, great place to try. All right, let's go down here. Just add painting wet into wet. Just make it a little bigger. Painting from a screen, I don't particularly all that enjoy it, but sometimes convenience wins. I love this painting. I love Cornwell's figures. It's one of the things I really enjoy about it. All right, I'm going to just kind of draw it per number, just as a guide. You can always do a second version too. the same painting, and then you know, just go for it. Sometimes that second version of it may make it more bold. I feel like maybe I read it somewhere, I can't remember, but I think Cornwell did two versions sometimes of the same painting, similar to how even Bob Ross did, where he did one before he did one as the camera, for the camera, and then also doing one at home after. I think the estate kind of owns them all. So this can be, of course, push, but look at the silhouette. You see that, the way he's doing that? Just really getting that silhouette to be so much about the expression. That's intentional. All right. And then just coming down here. Again, you can see it's kind of lifting the ground, but I'm going to just see how much. I don't know if I'll be able to get the whole thing in there. All right, and now I'm going to go back and forth and build it kind of tonally. There seems to be like a purple to it, so I'm going to grab just a little of that. That's Lizard Permanent. Bring it up into it, and then just cake it on. Grab a, like, scoop it on. Now, it's up to you. I think that's where the beauty of this is, to take and say, these are the paintings that mean something to me. That's what I'm going to explore. So it ends up being fruitful for each individual. All right, let's get some of the tonal. Like get the full gamut here. I often wonder if they had some kind of a medium. I don't think they did. I think they were just very bold in the way that they were building it. I did a Cornwell back in the day. I actually went to the Society of Illustrators. They had allowed me to come in, and I did a copy, and it really just was wonderful. They gave me a short amount of time, but sometimes in that small amount of time it was nice, because maybe I would have fiddled a little bit more, and Cornwell, I think, didn't fiddle. I think so much about it was good drawing. The ability to really draw and not let the inability to draw get in your way. Too blue, way too blue. Balance it. A touch of purple in there, or the red. Wonderful thing about the flake white or lead white is that it is very, very weak. Therefore, you kind of get this beautiful thickness to the paint if you want it to move anywhere. It's almost like a monochromatic painting. Wet into wet, hit the edge. I'm going to just tap that into an edge so I can just draw a little bit, a line showing the sternocleidomastoid. Feels like there's a hint of like purple in there, right there. one of the colors I used to use to kind of mix my own black back when I was told never to use black, which I think there's plenty of reason to use black, was alizarin and ultra. This is Prussian that I'm using. Prussian and alizarin permanent. It's a nice deep purple in there. Up there. Again, that beautiful, just all about the silhouette. And then can come up here with some yellow. Come at it from the other side. Really is a beautiful warm cool going on here. You know, a very, very sculptural way of painting when you look at this. Just hitting up planes. Just defining just the essence. I feel like the illustrators did so well. Just enough to tell the story. How close these values are in there. Burn number, Prussian, give you a near black. hint of a red, purple in there. Just adds such a beautiful little flavor to it. Now let's refine this a little bit. Fascinating how he knows what he's doing. You can just tell the way he's designing the silhouette, you know, and the face just on that. Right up to that yellow. Bit more of the brow in his. Pretty fascinating. Great little thing to kind of just study. Learn how to paint wet into wet. I feel like maybe there's a touch of yellow in there. I don't know. Maybe, maybe not. Take the risk. Why not? And then he's just taken the touch. Articulate the eye. Again. I remember seeing this come up at auction, thinking, "Ah, man, maybe I'll buy it," but I don't know, something more, and even perhaps even studying it. I mean, if you had the money, I could do it, but there's something beautiful about recreating it. Really gives you the ability to study it. You kind of own all the stuff that you like. You get good at painting. Maybe that's the motivation to do it. Look at that. It's kind of cool. If I stop there, like, see how dark that blue is? Just grab a whole chunk of it, pop it on there. Look at that, adds a nice depth to it. Whatever the smokiness is up in here, then up. He's adding color in there too to really play with the sense of like fire. Maybe you just run out of time and that's a nice place to end it. I don't know. That drag the brush. I mean, you can even learn something from your own marks and what it is you can do in a short amount of time. Doesn't always have to be finished either. I love all this stuff because it just seems like it tells a story. Yeah, if you don't drag that and you sit there and draw it, it's going to have a different feeling to it. I can imagine he went back, probably refined some of this, but maybe some of it he didn't. You know, explore. Wonderful place to do it. That's a wet into wet technique. That doesn't mean that he did it. Be interested to find out more about his technique, but I don't know. Remember Michael Aviano said he met him. It was pretty cool to hear. And, he was the teacher of Frank Riley, another illustrator. And, look at so much about this is just that gun, too. Boom. Like, what does it mean to just get a little bit more? How much of the story could you tell? With that hand right there. Great place if you don't know how to draw hands well. Practice. Even sometimes in the quick draw like this, you may find a little something, like you feel like you're on to more of the way that they worked, if that's what you're after. Like, what's the essence of this even? Look at that. Just a hand down like that. Look at the design. Very intentional. Beauty of these artists was that they were so good with the just design of when to end it. It feels like they just stopped in the middle, but they just stopped at the perfect time. Like, why did he bring this up here? maybe you learned something. Again, at the end, hopefully you can kind of look at each one of these and have some takeaway besides just making it. It's the study. Some of these marks you just can't get with, like, if you're trying to get the mark, you gotta, like, it's a quick mark. I find a lot of that. It's even like a Bouguereau, who had a lot of quick marks like this. A lot of the old French academics did. When you look at their work, you know, maybe you want to then just figure out, cake it on at the end, create the silhouette. There's some caked on paint. Look at that, over the first passage of paint that I put down at the beginning. Maybe if you want to clean it. I think sometimes even that cleanup line is as important. Like he's, you know, gives importance to the both sides of the negative and the positive and the negative space. You know. Anyway, just implying enough here of the bend. Nice bend to the whole thing. There's like a if it looks like he just cleaned the whole thing at the end with some lead white. Yeah, up to you where you want to stop it too. Go back into the white. Sometimes referred to as silver white for that reason right there. It looks silver in this now. It's interesting when you clean up the edge this way. It's going to help to silhouette the gun. And then also just add another beautiful moment to the painting.